Welcome to the next installment of Refurbished Revivals. Here we have a pretty good solid wood dresser. It may not look like much from the camera there, but I've already sanded down this leg over here to see how hard this was going to be to get off, to get the shine and all that off. Came down really good. This whole thing is white oak. So the biggest part of this is going to be the drawers, because what we're going to do, we're going to paint the body, we're going to stain the drawer fronts. I could leave them this color, but for the color that I'm going to choose, we're going to go a little bit lighter on the stain. Plus, I don't know if you can see this. Let me come closer. This thing was stained this color to begin with. They painted it black with a really bad brush, it looks like. So we're going to be taking all of that off. We're going to get it down to bare wood, just the drawer fronts. The rest of it is going to qualify for a scuff and shoot. Now, because this does have an extra layer of paint on it, we are going to have to hit it a little hard to get that paint off, to scratch up the varnish underneath. But the good part is it wasn't hard to do it on the leg, so I think it'll be pretty easy. I think for this one, I'm not 100% sure yet, but I think we are going to keep and repurpose this hardware for the first time in the existence of the channel, a whopping 3 months. We're going to keep some hardware, I think. The centers on these poles is 2 inches, and to find anything that looks remotely good that's 2 inches, not going to happen. So I think we're going to keep these, unless I can magically find something else. We may hit them with a little touch of paint, hit them with a little bit of matte black, because it does look like they're an oil rub, something or other. Or maybe they painted them too. I don't know why people do what they do. So that's where we're at on this one. Let me show you this though. Over there, I don't know if you can see it. There's not this, right? So there's a little wood block that's over there on that side. It's literally the only thing on the whole front of this that protrudes. I don't know why it's there. It doesn't do anything. It looks ugly. So I already went ahead and saw, can I get this thing off without damaging the dresser? And I can. It was literally a little wooden block with 2 nails run into it with a little bit of glue on the back. Came right off. Might have to do some light Bondo work here if the sanding doesn't smooth this out. So we're gonna bust that guy off too. And then this thing, I got 3 days to get this thing good and gone. We're going on vacation. So I gotta hurry up. I'm wasting time sitting here talking to you. We're actually, instead of doing this by hand, I am gonna break out the sander on this one just because we're up against it on time. So I'm gonna break that out. We're gonna put some 80 on it. And we're gonna hit the top of this thing, and we're gonna see how much of this stuff we can get off of it. Hopefully all of it. But I'm gonna pull the drawers so we can start working on all the flat pieces. And the good thing about this one, mostly flat, except for this little front piece here that does have some dents and dings, like somebody was swinging a belt. I don't know why kids do that. But we're gonna get this thing sanded down today. Tomorrow, I hope to get it primed, and hopefully we can get these drawers cleaned up, get those all the way down to the white oak finish, and then we can start sanding this thing, and hopefully by the end of 3 days, we're done. All right, we got our 80 grit on our sander. I got fans running. It's gonna be blowing all this stuff in my face. I got the door cracked, but if I have the door all the way open at, afternoon hours, you can't see me. I'm a ghost. So, respirator time. We're gonna put this thing on. We're gonna get to work. just like that, in 11 minutes, we got it down to the bare wood. There's still some dark spots where you see the varnish coming through, but that's fine. It's scuffed up enough. There's no shine on it because we're just painting this. We're not taking it all the way down because we're going to stain it. That's what we're doing on the drawer fronts. So the top is good. What we're going to do next, we're going to do the sides. We're going to do the front. Maybe a light scuff on the back, just because I do like to paint the back of them. Not the actual back, but the back of the wood. I do like to paint it. It gives it a better look. It looks more professional in my end. So that's what we're gonna do next. We're gonna keep on keeping on with the sides, and then we're gonna do the fronts, and we're gonna get the whole thing looking like this. Then we're gonna go back over it again with 120, and then maybe just on the top 180, just so we get that nice smooth finish when we're done, when we spray. So I can either time lapse it, or I can just cut the camera and do it. And for sake of the videos being too damn long because that Joey fella said so, I'm just gonna cut the camera, get to work, blast some music. I'll be back and this thing's gonna be bare. I took my respirator off and I don't know where I put it. Alright, so as you can see, we got the whole thing sanded down. So we're good on this. That's great. Alright, so now we're going to look at these drawer fronts here. So we got the same thing. We got the 80. Got the 80 on here. So this was 80, and then we did 120 on all the surfaces. So we got everything relatively smooth. I'm not going to do 180. I don't have time for that. So we got the 80 on here now. We're going to hit this and see how fast this goes. Hopefully it's just as quick. So most of that came up pretty good, but I'm going to try something else. I'm going to put some 80 on the block, and we're going to run it that way. Alright, we got our 80 on the block. I'm going to call the 80 Jenny from now on. So now we got Jenny on the block here. And we're just going to try to get all the rest of this off. Okay, back to the sander then. Plot twist, I've been had. This is wood. This is MDF. As I start sanding the edges here, you can tell, yeah, it's MDF. So, for those of y'all who don't know what MDF is, it's medium density fiberboard. In other words, it's sawdust that compress together to make wood products, right? So that's what this is. I've been had, I've been fooled. I guess we're painting the whole damn thing. Oh well, there we go. Well, this just got a lot easier with this being MDF and the whole thing getting painted. Now, these little 2-inch holes, we're gonna plug those up, and we're gonna get decent sized handles on this thing since it's all gonna be one color. But now I gotta find the color. Color I was thinking about doing, can't do it. It's gonna be too much of one color, and it's really dark. So we're gonna have to figure out another color combination for this thing. So while I'm figuring that out, I'm gonna sand some more drawers. I'll see y'all in a minute. Alright, so what we're doing now, we've got everything sanded down. We've hit this with the 80. We haven't done the 120 on this yet. But since we can't stain it because it's MDF, we're not going to reuse the hardware. So I'm filling up the old holes for the hardware with Bondo. And we're going to go with a bigger, more prominent pull on these things. And the color combo that I've come up with for this dresser between the hardware and the paint is going to be gorgeous if it turns out the way I think it's going to. So we're on day 2 of 3, and we're in a rush to get this done. Remember, we got spring break festivities coming up this week that we're going to be out of town for. And for my other channel, Custom Built Junkers, I'm going to be rebuilding the engine in my Ram. So I'm going to be rebuilding the engine in my Ram. So how we do this is we take this Bondo mixture here, and you, especially with the heat today, it's almost 90 degrees. You don't have a lot of time to get this stuff in. It's already starting to set up on me. I'm going to go off camera real quick and get another drawer done. And the glory of using the Bondo on the hot day is it sets up way faster than it should. So the issue we're going to have doing this is it sets up so fast that we're actually going to end up having to do 2 coats on every drawer, which is fine. It's nothing to get scared about. You're just going to go through more Bondo just because like this stuff's already turned into paste. So we're done with this batch already. We got 4 drawers out of the 6 big ones with the first coat. I'm going to pull up the second 2. I'm going to do those exactly the same. Once this is dry, I've already done the little drawers, and that stuff should be pretty well dry. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull these little ones up. We're going to do a second coat over the top, and we're going to make sure everything is nice and smooth, because I don't know if you can see it here, but there's a divot where it's already sunken down as it's starting to expand from drying. It's already sunken down in the hole a little bit. So the second coat is going to cover in those little divots there. And then we're going to go over this thing with 120. I'm going to use the sander because, again, we're up against it. We don't have a lot of time. And we're going to get these holes filled in. I don't have the hardware just yet, but I think what we're going to do is we are going to prime the body tonight, and we may even prime the drawers tonight inside the body. Hardware should be here tomorrow. I can re-drill some holes. I just want to make sure I get the holes right the first time so I don't have to do this again. And then everything's ready for paint. So that's what we're doing today. We're bondoing this up. We're going to get that thing primed, possibly these primed as well. Let me finish these other 2 drawers, and I'll bring up the little ones so you can see the second coat. You see what I'm talking about the divots. Alright, so I forgot. I already did 2 coats on these, so there is no divots. So we're just going to go ahead and hit this with the sander. We're going to hit it with the 120, and we're going to get everything kind of taken down. Should be, when you're done, the only thing you're going to see is the holes that are filled in. So next to the big holes, there's 2 little smaller divots that the hardware was sitting in. So we're going to go ahead and hit that. Alright, so you see, let's see, get this rag. Oops, still has a little bit of mineral spirits on it. So you can see, let me bring this closer. There is a little bit right here that has filled in with sawdust. That means we need to go over it one more time to get this completely smooth, or that will show up when you paint it. So we'll do that off camera. I'm going to do these other 2, then we're going to go back, we're going to do the big drawers, second coat, do this exact thing to them, get them prepped and ready to go. Alright, all the prep work has been done. This thing is ready to prime. I got the drawers back there. We've already sanded over top of them. We did the 2 coats. Those are ready to go. I sprayed them with the mineral spirits about 10 minutes ago, so it's going to take them a little bit to dry. The top 3, those are dry. The bottom 6, we're waiting on those to dry, and then we're going to pop them in here after we get a few coats of primer on this guy. Tomorrow we're ready to paint. So I'm going to turn the fans on, and we're going to get to work. And that's going to do it for tonight. We got the whole thing primed, ready to go. So you see the drawer fronts don't have any holes in them. I don't have the hardware just yet. I just want to make sure of what sizes I'm getting, because I'm going to get smaller for the top 3, bigger for the bottom 6. Once I pick that, I'm going to hopefully get it here tomorrow. We're going to come back. We're going to sand everything with a 220, get all the little texture pieces knocked off. We're going to get everything smoothed up again, wipe it down with the mineral spirits, let it dry. Then we're going to hit it with our top coat. The top coat we're going with this one is the Hail Navy from Benjamin Moore. It's a grayish blue, it's a darker color, and the hardware I'm trying to find, and I think I found it. I just need to go order it, get it here tonight or get it here tomorrow. I'm going to go with a copper. So we're going to have a grayish blue with that brighter copper pulling out. So it's going to be, I think it's going to look good, but time will tell. We'll see you tomorrow for the paint. It's paint day. We got what we got in paint. I had maybe half a quart left of the Hail Navy blue gray color that we're going to be painting this thing. And I hope it's enough to get everything done. I'm going to try to only do 2 coats on this guy and 2 coats on the drawers. Hopefully that's enough. I won't have to wait until tomorrow to go get another quart, come back and finish spraying. I'm trying to get this thing listed tomorrow. The thing about it is we got rain coming, so the humidity's about to, I got to keep the door closed as long as I can. I may crack it open and run the fans to get the fumes out, shut it back again, paint, run the fans, do the whole 9. It's going to take this stuff forever to dry. So if you're new to using paint, I guess, in high humidity areas, the higher the humidity, the longer it's going to take that paint to dry. It is pretty humid. The only thing that's saving me right now, this shop is pretty well sealed, so it's not that bad in here. I used to have a hydrometer in the back that would tell me what it was. I don't have it anymore. My rough estimate, 50% is about where we're at right now, but the minute that rain starts, it's over. It's going to be 100% humidity. It's going to take forever for this thing to dry. So we're going to get this thing sprayed as quick as we can. I got the paint draining right now into the gun. I'm going to fire up these fans and we're going to get to work. Last night we finished up painting the whole thing, okay? We got all the drawer fronts finally painted. All that was able to dry. It did get pretty humid there towards the back end of it. But then we went ahead and we rolled, after dinner, after everything was dry, we went ahead and rolled the edges on the sides and the top of all the drawer fronts, so it's all matching color all the way around. And it came out great. Now I want to show you the hardware that we're going to use. So we're going with the Hail Navy, and we're going with a copper finish that we're going to put on for the hardware. So I've got knobs for the front. I've got these little single knobs for the top 3. And for the bottom 6, I have a 5 and a 16th handle that we're going to be putting on. So I'm going to go ahead and get these slapped on. We're going to get this thing wrapped up, moved in the house, get it ready to stage, and then it's up for sale. So I want to thank you again for checking out this revival on Refurbished Revivals.